dream I had last night about Jimmy Savile, it was it was appropriate. I think there's a lot of good news today, and we may have pushed him into their Stalingrad, and it's important that we hold firm. Those of us who are determined to remain organic human beings, we have we have an ability and a power. We have a card. We have an ace in our sleeve. We can now play with. There's two things. Let's talk about the positive things that have happened in recent days. The passport, the needlecraft passport in Ireland, has not generated this sense of freedom and salvation among the masses that the media and the political establishment in Ireland wanted. In fact, there are sizable numbers, probably as high as 50% of all restaurants and bars are refusing to open up their indoor dining. Now, not all of this is in solidarity with the organic humans, the ones who want to remain organic, but it could be, but even more positive, a lot of it could be genuine fear that our boycotts are working. I think there's a genuine fear among establishments that they're going to be destroyed by a minority of people that they don't know how big they are. I don't think anyone actually believes the official needlecraft percentage numbers of who's been done so far. We've also, since the event in Dublin on Saturday, in which clearly a minimum of 8,000 people showed up, if you look at even any photographs, the mainstream media and National Propaganda Service, RTE, said that 1,500 showed up. There's no way in hell that anyone could look at that other than a journalist and see 1,500. So they shot themselves in the foot with that. That showed fear, and people are looking at the pictures going, no, there's way more than 1,500. Why are the mainstream media so afraid of calling out the real numbers? That's a very important aspect in all this. So what the next thing is, so in Ireland, no passport, no needlecraft passport, the real name for it, is trending as the number one trend on Twitter in Ireland. On what was supposed to be our Freedom Day, it's not the trend. The number one trending thing on Twitter is not "Hooray, the pubs are open! Hooray, see you inside for a meal! Hooray, we can eat indoors!" The number one trending tweet in Ireland is "No needlecraft, real name, passport," and that's powerful. And it's frightening the shite out of the lefties who want mandatory needlecraft for everyone. Now, that's the first positive thing. The second positive thing is they've gone too far with the children. And that dream that I had last night about Jimmy Savile was really telling me what to do and what all of us should do this point on. Remember, Jimmy Savile was a central figure of love and adoration among the same people who are telling you to get your children needlecrafted. It's a parent's natural inclination to want to prevent a an object or a sharp thing from being stuck into their child. It's a natural instinct, and they're inclined to be wary of even when it's done on so-called, altruistic grounds, like in needlecraft. We can see quite clearly from the woke left that the majority who want mandatory 100% vaccination are also openly in favour of paedophilia and lowering the age of consent of boys to 9 years old. So we have the prick of the needlecraft and the prick of the paedophile. We now have to fuse them both. Now, there was an incredible act of chaos magic happened in Dublin that destroyed Antifa in Ireland. There was people showed up at I think it was an Irish Nationalist Party event, where Justin Barrett was speaking. I'm not endorsing any parties, by the way, I'm just saying this will happen. and a lot of people showed up, and Antifa showed up to play music to try and drown it out, and a bit of a ruckus took place. Nothing major, but the pro freedom side started chanting, "Pedo scum off the streets, pedo scum off the streets," and they literally to associate these people with what their main. You have to remember now, the only objective left wing politics has in Ireland. I don't care if you're involved in a trade union and you're involved in left wing politics because you're a trade unionist, a feminist. The only objective left for international Marxism at this point is legalization of sex with children. This is what every single Marxist, communist, left wing, socialist, trade union, etc. event, progressive event is about these days. How do we get men to put their penises inside little boys and little girls? This is the only objective of global international Marxism right now. That's the only thing left they haven't got. And this is what they want more than anything else. Now, the passport to this is something like, is the needlecraft. Because if the state can stick one prick inside your child, well, they can mandate another prick. You have the Pfizer prick and the Boris prick, the AstraZeneca prick and the Fauci prick. They're doing a transference ritual upon society. Let's do it right back on them. That anyone who promotes needlecraft for children in any country is an automatic supporter of lowering the age of consent of children to 9 years old, which is the primary objective of international Marxism. And that's why international Marxism, for whether you're a trade unionist who's saying I'm not into that, no, this is what you're all about. You've been found out. This is your Stalingrad. Between what's happening in Ireland today with what's trending on Twitter, the complete opposite of what the government and the propagandists wanted, to people realizing you're not getting near my fucking kids with that needle. You have hit your Stalingrad. Now, what we have, we hold. Okay? This is where the tribe, all of us in this, we have to really now dig our foxholes, dig our trenches, and fucking buckle down. Because now we have a chance to push back. They are in there. They are now, we have to put them through a winter of hell. A winter of hell. We have to bring the Russian winter upon them. And how we do this is what we have, we hold. No quarter, no retreat. Dig in and wait for the long winter. And survive the winter. We know what to do. We're already stocking up provisions. If they cut off the food supply or cause problems with the food distribution, things where the supermarket shelves are empty, we, the tribe, have been stockpiling. What we have, we hold. We won't be down the supermarket saying, here's your can of lentils, now roll up your sleeve. What we have, we hold. Second to this, we have, because we are still organic human beings, an enormous power play now. We have an enormous leverage we're not fully appreciating. The average Joe normie moron cannon fodder for Pfizer types still wants his 2 weeks in Benidorm, but he can't have his 2 weeks in Benidorm because there are Delta and other variants we're being told about, as well as we, the unclean, the organic human beings, are preventing him because we're causing all the cases. When anyone with half a brain cell could easily tell that those cases are probably all caused by people who are already double needle crafted. It's obvious they're lying. Also, in your town and in your cities, and even in the countryside, We are hearing a cacophony of sirens, ambulance sirens. This is because thrombosis, swelling of the brain, swelling of the heart, liver failure, strokes, blood clots caused are affecting the good citizens. These are the ones who are in the hospitals. They are lying to us like they've lied to us from the past. And that's why the countryside and the cities are filled with sirens. At the beginning of this thing, they had ambulances driving around blazing their sirens to make us believe that there was bodies dropping dead all over the place. People were in fear. They thought that they were picking up the dead. It was the modern version of bring out your dead, bring out your dead. But now these ambulances are going around for real, and they're picking up the ones who've been needle crafted. Now, Joe Normie being an animal, a barely sentient animal, like a huge percentage of the population, only thinks of his animalistic needs. And his biggest animalistic need right now is his 2 weeks in Benidorm. And we are preventing him from getting there. Now, this makes him angry towards us. What we have, we hold. We dig in and we become even more strict and stringent about not taking the needlecraft. We portray ourselves as fanatics. Under no circumstances, only under pain of death, will they ever get needlecraft into us. What we have, we hold. We have dug them into their Stalingrad now. Eventually, if we keep up this fanatical act, which is genuine in my case, that they will never, ever, while I'm alive, get that experimental thing into my arm. Eventually, Joe Normie, dumb animal, desperate for anything to get his 2 weeks in Benidorm, will do what seems to be already happening in Cyprus, where the majority who have been needlecrafted are now turning on the government and saying, look, they're never going to be needlecrafted. They were never going to get them over our side. Just stop all the fucking restrictions. This is the power we have. And what we have, we hold. We are an army now dug in. They have hit their Stalingrad. What do we bring them? The Russian winter. The Russian winter is coming. And they're going to be, as soon as the wild virus hits, they're going to be dropping in their millions. In their millions of the double needle crafted ones. This will be a tremendous card that we can play with, because it will take the focus off us and bring it towards their own immediate animalistic survival. This is why these average Joe Normie animals are used as cannon fodder in war. They have no sense of pathos. They have no introspection. They have no sentient inner world. They're purely concerned with survival. This is why they're put into military engagements, because they will not have compassion for the enemy. They will not think for a second, is this war justified? No, they will have a kill or be killed mentality. And they're not going to pick on us. They're going to pick on the government, the media, the civil servants, the bureaucrats. We, although they will be angry with us now and in the future, eventually, in time, we will be seen as brave. We will garnish respect. It always happens. We have to dig in. This is Stalingrad, and what we have, we hold. Finally, after over a year and a half, we have some really positive news. What's trending on Twitter regarding the Irish Day? We have some transmission problems. They, like all the psychopaths, and rolled the dice one too many and showed the world what they really are. You saw that men's choir thing. We're coming for you, children. Yes, you'll be right. And there's two convicted nonsense in that choir. They tried to make out now it was a fake. Half of them were they were all wear half of them and those other stuff were wearing masks. The prick of Pfizer is the prick of the pedophiles. The prick of AstraZeneca is the prick of the nonce. The prick of all the others is the prick of the politicians. The same ones who protected Savile are the same ones who are telling you to take another kind of prick, because all these pricks are the same. What we have, we hold. Hold tight, friends. Stick to your guns, and by God, we'll drive them into the depths of the Russian winter, and then we will finally annihilate these fuckers. With what? Facts. The people, if the simple fact is, if we are the cause of all the people in hospital, how come we're not in hospital?